you just, shit. Shit. What's my point? What did I say? God damn it. I'm gonna be that big sister, senior friend that you need, and I'm gonna give you the real tea, because I feel like that's my purpose in this moment. I have no makeup on. I have my notes for this video written down on an old sketch pad, so you can tell exactly how prepared I am for this video. I'm capitalizing on my successes because the only video of mine that's gotten any views is mine with my boyfriend. So I figured today I would sit down and not put a whole lot of flashiness to it, because I'm giving you the real tea on high school relationships. Also, I forgot to say it, I'm Tabby. If you're new here, I make content every Wednesday. Subscribe. For reference, I am a rising senior, and I met Cody, who you guys have already met, my boyfriend. I'm gonna link my video with him in the information section and down below, and probably at the end card of the video, so you know exactly who we're talking about. I met him 3 months into my freshman year, so pretty much my entire high school career I have been with Cody and in a relationship, and I've had some relationship experience, and I had some in those 3 months. So I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to high school relationships, and I have a lot of friends, and we talk and we spill tea and whatnot. So the first thing I want to talk about is that sometimes, especially if you are a little baby and you're coming into high school and you're thinking it's gonna be, you know, great, it's gonna be like exactly like you see in the movies. If you're a freshman or a sophomore, you're dating a freshman or a sophomore, it might feel a little bit juvenile at times, especially if you live in a rural area where you can't go places super quickly unless you have a car and you have to like work shit out with your parents. It's gonna feel a little juvenile sometimes, but that's okay. You know, when you grow up and you get your own, you get more independence, and it does get better. And just because it feels a little juvenile and you feel like you're reliving middle school in the beginning, that doesn't mean that it's gonna be like that the entire time. Cody and I, Cody didn't get his license until about a year ago, and he still can't drive me places. I still don't have my license, and we live in a very rural area where it's mostly farmland, and you have to drive like 20 minutes to get anywhere interesting. So, plus my parents are strict, so we weren't really able to do a lot of like the fun movie stuff, you know? And we didn't have a whole lot of independence. So, like, for example, our first date was to this cute little place with the rest of his family. We got no alone time. And our first kiss was on the floor of the theater classroom during a showing of the show my school was doing that year. So, and we have I think we have a pretty mature relationship, you know? And dating in the real world is different than high school. I will admit that, because high school is like its own little bubble, but just because it might feel like it won't feel that independent and that new and that old and fun yet in the beginning doesn't mean that it can't grow into a, you know, mature, normal relationship. Okay. Another thing that nobody really tells you, high school is, and adolescence in general, is just a weird time where you're trying to figure out yourself and your place in the world, and you've got a lot of crap going on. That's for sure. A lot happens in high school, just personally. And growing a relationship and being in a partnership like that with somebody when you don't really know who you are is very difficult, and it will find its way into your relationship at one point or another. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to happen. there are going to be moments where you don't know what you want and things are going to be really tough and you have to choose between, you know, what you might think you want and your partner, and it's really rough. And I'm not saying you always have to choose your partner, you know, if you really feel in your heart that something's wrong and something isn't right for you and you want something in that relationship, then go for it. Like, listen to yourself. That's the big thing. You need to take into consideration what you need, and this is we're really young, you know, this is our time to figure out what we're doing, and if sometimes your needs and your growth is gonna have to come before your partner, and hopefully they'll be accepting of that, and if they don't, dump their ass, okay? Dump their ass, because they're not ready. And that leads me to my next point. People are gonna want to play. You know, we're not mature. We really aren't. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that either. We're not mature. We don't know what we're doing. And a lot of people, I'm tempted to say guys, but we're not assuming anybody is straight around here. A lot of people aren't ready, you know? They're not ready for that kind of commitment that you need, and they're young and they're stupid and they want to play around with a bunch of people. Like, it happens. You know, I was talking to 3 guys when I met Cody, and none of them really took me seriously, and that bothered the hell out of me. So like, yeah, sure, they were into me, but they didn't want me, you know, like, they didn't care. Like, a big thing that I like to point out is, I was talking to this one guy, he and I are really good friends now, there's no bad blood, if he sees this video, he's gonna know exactly who he is. Or his girlfriend, I'm really good friends with this girlfriend too. I was texting him, and every time we Snapchatted back and forth, it was like, he wasn't wearing a shirt, and it was just like, this section of his face, like a collarbone and like the side of his face, and he would be like, hey, what you doing? And he would start the conversation, and then he would like put no effort into continuing it, and it would bother me so much. And at the same time, I was texting Cody, and he would text me and be like, hey, how are you? How's your day? Like, what'd you do? And we weren't even dating yet. And I was like, okay. So some people aren't even gonna want to put in the bare minimum. And I admit I got lucky that I could find somebody who is willing to put that time and effort in, but not everybody's gonna want to do that. And you gotta know what you're looking for. You know, if you are willing to, you know, settle down with something that is probably not gonna last because they don't want to put the effort in, then like, go ahead. Like, I'm not gonna stop you. Just know exactly what you're getting into. If you really want to hunker down and like really build something with somebody, statistically, the skinny vaping white boy who just texts you what you doing at 2 a.m. isn't it. I don't care what you tell yourself, it's not it. Move on. Unless you're just like, oh, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, then like, sure, whatever, do whatever you want, be safe. That nothing meaningful is gonna happen there. He hasn't matured to where he needs to be yet to provide you what you want. And you need to know what you want. I guess that's important. It's really hard to figure out what you want, I know, but it's important to have those boundaries and those values and know what you want and what you want to come out of this. Another thing, I got lucky that Cody and I have been together for 2.5 years, and I admit not everything's been great, but we've made it work. And that's a rarity to where it works this long. It does happen, but high school relationships, they're hard. They're really hard for a myriad of reasons, and it gets even harder if you're lucky enough to stay together after you graduate. Because college and long distance and things, it's very difficult. I haven't experienced that yet, but I know that when it gets there, it's gonna be rough. You gotta know that every person that you're with is not your soulmate. You might feel like it, and it might feel great, you know, and that's great, but you have to keep in the back of your mind that this could go south, and don't put your entire being into one person. And that's even relationships in general, like not just boyfriend girlfriend or girlfriend or whatever, like friendships and just interactions with people. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because life is unpredictable and anything could happen at any time. This one I do actually have experience with. Even if it wasn't my relationship, I put all my eggs into one basket and the basket kind of toppled over and I was a wreck. I was an absolute wreck. And I don't want that to happen to you, because I don't know you personally, probably, but I care about you and I want to see you happy. So build some self-love, you know? Become aware of your feelings. Look at things that you know, make you happy. Get to know yourself. Find things that you like about yourself. You know, just do it. Because if you put everything you have and rely on one person for everything, one, you're gonna burn that person out, and two, if it goes south, then you're screwed. And you don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. The people who care about you don't want that to happen. So just don't do it. Just don't do it. One thing that I was debating talking about, because I don't know if my parents watch my videos, but hopefully my parents are cool enough to not freak out. So sex. It's a thing. It exists. We can't get around it. It happens. I don't care if you go to a Christian school. I don't care if you are in like the middle of New York. I don't care where you are. It's gonna happen, especially if you are in the dating realm in high school. Like, it happens. You're gonna have people with like a multitude of sexual activity levels, and if you are in the dating realm, you might feel pressure to do things that you're not okay with doing, even if it's not coming directly from your partner. If you talk about your relationship with other people, especially people who are sexually active, there's gonna be a certain amount of pressure, especially if you have massive FOMO like I do. And this is a big thing that I really want to talk about, because my relationship with this has been ridiculous over the past 2.5 years. And the one thing I want to make sure you know is it is okay, whatever you do, you know. If you decide to do it after a month, or if you wait 3 years, it doesn't matter, as long as you and your partner are okay with it and you are comfortable with what's going on. Your sex life is your own and you own it, you know. And just be safe and be consensual. Just please, for the love of God, be safe and be consensual. So yeah, and if your partner is pressuring you, call them out, please, because that's not okay at all, whatsoever. It's not okay. This video is gonna be a pain in the ass for me to edit. So yeah, that's all I've got right now for the real tea. Maybe I'll do a part 2 with Cody, and we'll talk about more relationship things. We meant to film a video yesterday because he was over. It was gonna be a boyfriend does my makeup challenge, and every time we sat down to film the video, we ended up making out. So it didn't really work. It didn't work at all. We filmed a really cute intro though that I might add into another video. But yeah. So that's the real tea on high school relationships. I hope you were able to take something away from this video. I'm sorry I'm really bad at giving advice. I really am. But I'm doing my best. If you have a question that I didn't answer about this, just comment and I will do my best to respond, because I want to help you, and I want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into when you decide to enter this shit show that we call high school. And being in relationships with other people in it. So that's that. If you liked this video, Sorry, I'm really gassy today. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of me on your screen, click that good old red subscribe button, please. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the summer, so hopefully that works. If you comment, it boosts the amount of it boosts how my videos get seen. It really helps me in the algorithm, which is nice. And if you want to get notified every time that I post, click that little bell that is next to that wonderful red subscribe button. So, I think I covered all my bases. Until next time, I'm Tabby.